Hello, assistants and servants of God. May God bless you abundantly. I'll be doing a brief message once a week called S.O.S, Strengthening Our Salvation. I want to share with you something that you've read perhaps hundreds of times, but this is a sign of the times that we're living in, and you'll understand why. The Apostle Paul wrote to the church in Corinth the following: all things are lawful for me, but all things are not helpful. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. This is a verse that many people are familiar with, and actually, sometimes you hear people who do the work of God, you hear people who are in the presence of God in general, whether they're members or assistants, you hear them say, oh, I do this, but this is not a sin. This is not wrong, this is not a sin. And indeed, there are things that we can do that may not be a sin. But you have to ask yourself if there are certain things that you do that are not a sin, but on the long run may be detrimental to your relationship with God. And we know, I don't need to explain here in detail what those things are, because you know what it is that sometimes you do, sometimes you think about, you spend or waste your time doing, things that may not be a sin, but on the long run, they affect your spiritual life, right? So think about it. I think what happens for many people is they want to see how far they can push the line of what is not a sin. So they think like this: okay, the line of sin is here. Okay, so I want to come up to here. I want to stretch how close I can come to that line of sin without sinning. Okay, I'm here. I'm not sinning. I haven't crossed the line yet. Okay, that may be true. But the thing is, if you try to see how close you can get to that line, sooner or later, when you least realize, you've crossed the line. You've already lost yourself spiritually. When we look at the Bible, we see something different. First of all, we see the Apostle Paul saying, listen, guys, and I'm paraphrasing here. The Apostle Paul said like this: guys, there are things that are not sinful, but they're not beneficial for you. Think about it. There are things in this world that may not be a sin. However, they may not be beneficial for you. Certain things that you watch on streaming platforms, certain programs, you may not be practicing the sin that you're watching in that program, but you're watching it. And the Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes that the eyes never get tired of seeing and the ears never get tired of hearing. So you allow yourself to be exposed to something that sparks lust in you, and sooner or later you start to accept or see things as something that's acceptable. You allow yourself to go to environments that are not conducive to people who are full of the Holy Spirit. You may not be there to sin. But you are there in an environment that is not good for you. So certainly you will leave that environment with your mind, your eyes having been exposed to things that are not good for you. So I would say this: rather than seeing how close you can get to the line without sinning, see instead how far away from the line you can become. Remember Joseph. Joseph, when he was in his master's quarters and his master's wife came to tempt him, he didn't stick around to see what was going to happen. He ran, he fled. He didn't stay there watching his master's wife tempt him and to see how long he could resist. Because guess what? If he would have stuck around and said, no, I'm not sinning. She's the one who's hitting on me. She's the one who's enticing me. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just standing here. And how many people who once were in the presence of God, serving God, they used this line. No, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just here. They got so close to the line that eventually their good conscience, like the Bible says, faith from a good conscience, their good conscience was contaminated and then their faith no longer worked. Do what Joseph did. Try to see not how close you can get to the line of what may not be a sin, but is bordering on what could be unacceptable. Don't see how close you can get to the line. Instead, see how far away you can run from the line. If there is a chance that something may eventually make you fall into sin, don't stick around to see what's going to happen. Run, protect your salvation. I'll be back next week again with a word for those who are servants of God. May God bless you. Bye-bye.